Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this impromptu live stream. We're on Build a Drone Reviewer Limited Edition tonight. Wanted to just do this over here. Had some important information that I wanted to pass on to you regarding the Smart Controller firmware update that was from yesterday, because there's been a lot of talk about it, and there's been some miscommunication. I know some people had, thought otherwise, but I want to straighten some things up. And we're not going to be too long tonight. I hope everybody's having a great evening here. Now, the first thing is I'm going to share the release notes from DJI, and I think this is very important that we understand this point here. Now, understand that what you are basically doing with this firmware update, and this is important to understand this, you are adding the DJI Fly app to the DJI Smart Controller, okay? You're basically, taking the app that we would use for the Mavic Mini and for the DJI Mavic Air 2 and adding it to the Smart Controller. That takes a lot of space up, okay? And because it takes a lot, because it's a large update. One thing that I want you to focus on is under the notes, okay? Where it says there, a Smart Controller with a firmware version of V100.4.75 or earlier must be updated using DJI Assistant 2, okay? Download the latest DJI Assistant 2 and follow the steps in firmware update section in the DJI Smart Controller user manual, okay? You have to use DJI Assistant 2, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's because this update is so large. It will keep failing on you, okay? You'll get to the point, you'll get frustrated, it'll keep failing. What am I doing wrong? What you're doing wrong is you need to use DJI Assistant 2 for Mavic, okay? I used that first try, it went through. It took about 30 minutes, and here's what it looks like. I'm going to run this clip, and this was on my video on the other channel, and I thought this was important enough that we go ahead and that we share this here. Let's stop sharing that. Okay. Let's bring this clip up, and we're gonna play this clip here because I want to emphasize a couple of things. This one won't take real long here. Okay. Notice here it's DJI Assistant. All right, and you see the Smart Controller up here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to briefly play it again. This is fairly straightforward and pretty quick. Okay, we're downloading the update for the DJI Smart Controller that includes the DJI Mavic Air 2. Now, this is greatly sped up. The actual elapsed time for this entire process, as you can see, I had to restart it once. The actual elapsed time for this entire process took approximately 30 minutes. It's something that you do have to be patient with. Now you can see that I used DJI Assistant for Mavic 2 on the PC when I did do this download. And then at 98%, it is showing on the Smart Controller. It's actually rebooting the Smart Controller several times because this is a large update because it includes the Mavic Air 2's DJI Fly. Okay. So did you catch that? Okay, that's what the process looks like. Now it does take about 30 minutes, and that's something I want to make sure that you guys understand. Okay, it does take 30 minutes to run this. All right, it took me 30. I assume it probably was at a good time of day. I did this early in the morning. Probably not a lot of people are out there. If you're planning on trying to do this in the evening, try it in the morning instead. If you're following this and you're still having issues, try it at an odd time. If you're working from home, maybe take your lunch break and try running it then. I would definitely babysit it. Would be a suggestion. There's some other advice that I'd like to share with you as well too. Now you all know Lauren Donauer. Lauren's been just an incredible friend of the channel and has provided lots and lots of great information for all of us drone pilots. One of the things that he shared in the comments here, and I wanted to share his comment because this again, this is combined with this information of doing the firmware update through DJI Assistant 2 for Mavic is key here. All right. As I mentioned already, this takes up a lot of space on the smart controller. All right. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and share this comment here. Now, Lauren said, I'm going to add one more caution. Before considering the update, ensure you have at least 3 gig free on your controller. I had over 700 flight logs I had to delete before I could do the update. If you get to a point and your update fails, check your storage space. It is normal for it to stop at certain points during the install proceedings to transfer data as well, do several reboots. Happy flying. Again, I can't emphasize enough. You need to use DJI Assistant 2 on your PC or Mac, and you also need to make sure you have enough free space on your smart controller to do this. Now, be prepared. It's going to take 30, 35, 40 minutes to do this, okay? This isn't a slow procedure. This is going to take a while. And remember, this also, is, loading. You're loading the entire DJI Fly app on here. One other item of note here that I wanted to bring this up. Okay, now a lot of people have said, "Well, this isn't the latest DJI Fly app." You're correct. It isn't the latest DJI Fly app. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to put this back up on the screen here because I think this is one other thing that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned here. Now, the latest DJI Fly app, I'm trying to share, and we're not working here for some reason. Okay, the latest DJI Fly app, it's my share is not working for some reason. The latest DJI Fly app is v1.1.8. Okay, what was included in this firmware update was v1.1.6. So, unfortunately, they have to draw a line in the sand when they're creating this. And when they're doing it, they have to say, okay, what are we going to put into this one? Because, obviously the Fly app is going to need to be updated. Expect an update for the DJI Fly app to happen sometime. I don't know when, but I would expect it to happen fairly shortly here. Okay. So, recognize that there is that difference. You won't see some of the things that that's in version, the 0.8 version that are missing in 0.6. I know several people have remarked about, I think it's the battery or something or other, because, like I've complained, and I know Marcus has complained about, the font up at the top of the app and with a clear sky, and it's really hard to see. And they've made some changes. So those aren't going to show up in this. So, be patient. It will happen. Enjoy this early Christmas gift that DJI has given you. So that's all I wanted to get across. And if you know other people that need to know this information, please pass this on, because it's important. Because if you try and do your update through the controller, it's going to fail probably 99% of the time. I would follow exactly what DJI is recommending in those release notes. I would not deviate from. It's worked for me, and it's worked for others. So that's all I wanted to say. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope the guys, if you can answer in the comments section below how your update went for the smart controller, that would be great. So if you can do that, that's your question of the day. How did your firmware update go for your DJI Smart Controller to include the Mavic Air 2? Drop it in the comments section below. Thank you all so much tonight. And remember, everyone, it's a great day to fly. Take care. Talk to you later. Okay, I'd like to apologize for that. I have no idea what happened. My browser froze. My Chrome browser froze up on me. I'd like to apologize that for that. I have no idea what happened. My browser froze. So basically, I just wanted to go ahead and thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I'll go ahead and you know, we'll get that handled in the future. But this is, you know, this information is important. Please do go ahead and share this with other people that you know. I think that's key to get this information out, because a lot of people still have not done their firmware updates with a smart controller, and there are going to be a lot of people in the future that are going to do this, and they need to know that this is a large update, and it does take time, it does take space, and you do need to do this on your PC. This is not something you do with your smart controller. So that's all for this evening. Sorry that I was not able to close the session and end it properly, but we're going to do that now. Look forward to seeing everyone in the future. We got Rotor Talk Live. We'll be on at a special time next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's due to the debate. I want to allow everybody ample time to watch that. That's at 9 o'clock. It will be on at a special time on both Build a Drone Reviewer and Build a Drone Reviewer Limited Edition. Hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Take care, and it is a great day to fly.